This video is by way of explanation for where I've been for the last 6 months. I have about 400 videos on here, and a lot of them are about fourth way school, the GURDJIEFF OUSPENSKY schools, and a lot of people were interested in that, and esoteric information put out from schools is to pull in students who are interested. And I did say there was a fifth way school here, and there was a great teacher here, an historical personage who reincarnates and keeps coming back to try to improve the situation. And things always haven't gone well for him, so I wanted to protect him while hinting that he was available. Well, he died in February, and it was quite a shock and a loss for all of us who procrastinated in our work, and this trickles down to those who procrastinated in arriving here, and down further still to those who didn't get it. So that aspect of what is available here is over, and I don't need to protect him anymore from them. So things will change here and become a little more hard-hitting. There are some really basic things that are wrong with the human race's perception of itself. And although I would like to dig into the apparent political situation, that's not really the problem. There are two major pieces of data that will help resolve what's wrong here. And the first one is, at some point in our history as a group of individual beings, one person talked us into the game of everybody lock their mind to my mind, so that when I have a thought, we'll all have the same thought, and that will make it very intense and rich and real. And we agreed to do that. The problem is, this guy was an asshole, and everyone who did that got infected with his aberrations. And this is on the spiritual being itself, so it rolls on through lifetimes and the eternities unknown to the beings. The Catholics call this original sin, which always seemed like a raw deal to me. You're born with a problem. This is a very veiled way of talking about this. And this is what makes people assholes. It's the basis for all of the insanity and sexual perversions and all of the stuff that people do that seems antisocial. Now what we still have here is the means to eradicate that. For those who might be able to figure out what that means, it's about a $3,000 cost, and it takes about 25 hours. And you're free of that for all eternity, and we still have that possibility. You have to go to Idaho to get that done. And the second major aspect is electronic implantation of the spiritual being with false goals and purposes and aberrations to make it so that he can never succeed or be free again. And that's a weapon that was developed by spiritual beings on behalf of meat body beings who were being beaten up by other spiritual beings. But what has happened over the last few trillion years is every spiritual being has been captured at one point or another and implanted by meat body beings with the technology given to them by spiritual beings. Rather like selling guns to the Indians was unpopular. So we're all running around with ideas, destructive ideas that are not our own, and implantations for war, and especially atomic war, slavery, all the things that don't make sense. Everyone has these things, and unfortunately they have to be dramatized or let out, or you go crazy. So people are dramatizing these things, and that is what's wrong with planet Earth, these two items. So this is the knowledge tech of this. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with spirits. There's nothing wrong with humans, except things have been added from the outside that are non-optimal, aberrative, destructive. And this has been promoted into a device to suppress people by telling them that they're bad and they can't control themselves. So they have original sin, and man is a lower being and needs to ascend to a higher level with the assistance of someone who's sure to ask you for money for doing that. This is not true. And these things are hidden from you in areas to which you have no access. Which is, of course, why it's never been figured out and fixed. People of the inner circle of mankind know how to do this. And we had here a man from the inner circle of mankind doing this. He freed hundreds of thousands of beings, if not millions. He told me that there were some beings here who had been keeping 1 million beings prisoner for millions of years in the spiritual form, and he undid that So a lot of work was done here. A lot of people who are in that condition are staying to help. A lot of people are going home to other planets or places in this universe or other universes. So also the war in heaven is over. The reasonable people won, and what we will see here is cleanup. And I have no idea of the time scale. We're heading into the age of Aquarius, which will be 12,000 plus years of things a little better than they were. And if you watch my videos, The Real Cosmology, or a serious look at the precession of the equinox, you can get the technology on that. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I might write a book on all of this. He told me I didn't need to do anything more because it's over. The good guys won, so... All of us here have been reeling for the last 6 months over the lost opportunity that was right in our face. So that's where I'd be. Try to deal with that.